Hey there, guys. It's Mia Redrick here, the mom strategist. I am so excited. I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'm going to teach very simply tonight what to and what not to invest in to hit your goals quickly. Now, my only goal is to support you over the next couple of minutes with a short list. I've got 8 items of what I recommend to invest in and things that I invest not to invest in order for you to hit your goals in the clear, shortest way. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I'm a business and life coach, and I got started in my company over 16 years ago. And I simply made the decision to go to work as myself. I wanted to figure out how to take my background as a corporate trainer and my systems in motherhood and how to package those into my own very own product. Hi, Jeanette. And I didn't know how to do that. And so I knew I needed to get some help. So I went to a small business resource center in my town. And I was told that my idea, mom coaching, didn't make any sense and that no one would ever pay me to do what I've been doing today. Hey, good to see you, Carla. And so I kept looking for someone to help me. And I ended up bumping into a coach online, and her models literally changed my life. It was the first time I had ever seen someone doing what I wanted to do, even though I have to be honest, I didn't know that's what I wanted to do. Hey there, Dad, good to see you. I didn't know that's what I wanted to do. And I'm so excited that I had the opportunity to, hey there, Regina, I'm so glad that you're here. And I'm so excited that I had that example because it really changed my life. It was the first time I ever saw someone doing what I wanted to do, and I decided that that was for me. Fast forward, I had the opportunity to coach thousands of women literally all around the globe from the comfort of my home and doing what I absolutely love. And I work with women who are smart, they're sharp, they believe in self-investment, and they proactively seek a solution to change their lives. And, as a result of the work that I've done, I've had the opportunity to be able to take a stand for my family in many ways that I desired. I think a lot of times, hi, Lori, when I got started in my company, I dreamed of being able to stand in the gap for my family in many ways. And I think that's why a lot of us start businesses. We want financial security. Maybe you want to pay tuition for your children, or maybe you want to be able to support your spouse in some way. But I had no idea that what was around the corner for me was that my husband got sick and he developed kidney disease. And I don't know what you guys know about kidney disease, but it's a pretty aggressive disease and it's pretty scary. And my husband went on dialysis, and it was 3 times a week, 3 hours a day. And as a result of that treatment, that treatment is very aggressive on the body, and I needed to be able to take a stand for my family. And because I had built a business when I didn't need it, when I needed that business to be there for me, it was there, and I could stand in the gap for my family. And what that looked like was that my husband didn't have to worry about income or being a provider or any of the things that a lot of times our guys are thinking about. And I hope that this supports some of you with understanding where I'm coming from. When I say to you, and I say this all the time, a man is not a plan, okay? Because a lot of women are codependent on their partners for income, and your job is not a plan. So many people have told me over and over again, I have experienced it personally as well, being downsized or sometimes being wrong sized, right? With companies. So what I teach women to do is how to take their expertise, their experience, their backgrounds, their gifts, and how to package their gifts into high ticket products, both on and offline. And so if you've been following me, I'm so grateful that you're back here. And if you're new here, welcome, and make sure you hit the notification button so you get notified when I come on Periscope or on Facebook. All right. Today, what I'm going to teach on is what to and what not to invest in. I've got 8 simple points, and I wanted to do this live today because this is one of the things that I think sometimes when people are driving their bus to entrepreneurship, they don't know what to invest in. And so I thought I'm going to share with you exactly what I've done over the years. This is just my opinion, but I know that this will absolutely support you. And I can tell you this. At the end of the story, being able to stand in the gap for my family looked like my husband and I were able to hire a private doctor for him for many years so he could get an elevated level of care during a time that was very sensitive for us as it related to his health. It also meant that as a result of growing an amazing income, my husband and I were able to invest over $1 million in elementary, middle, and high school educating our children because we wanted them to have a world-class education. So in addition to financial security, because I know that sometimes there's a reason that you want to grow a business and a profitable business. You know, to me, growing a great business, one of the greatest things that happened to me is that I got myself free. You know, I didn't want to be that person that was working 40 years for someone else. I knew there was more for me. I felt I was just too smart. And if you felt that way too, put hashtag too smart for the 40-year plan. That was me. And I never really built the business as my primary reason for my kids or for my spouse. Truthfully, I built it for myself to get myself free. It just happened that because I built a solid business, when my family needed me, I could be there. So I hope this supports you guys. All right. I'm going to jump in. And if you're ready, I'm ready. I want you to write here, I am ready here. Taisha says she's too smart. Okay, Taisha, it's just you and I right now. It's just you and I right now. Okay. I'm going to get started today. What to and what not to invest in. And I'm going to break down this list. It's just very simple. And I'm going to start with what not to invest in. All right. And my only goal is to support you right now with knowing exactly, you know, how do you know where to go? Like, how do you know what to invest in? How do you know what not to invest in? And I'm going to tell you this, that whenever I think about making an investment in something, the first thing that I think about is getting a return on my investment. Hey, Valerie, good to see you. Yeah, Tijuana. I think about having a return on my investment. So somebody write this down, a return on your investment. What does that mean? It means that the only reason that you're investing in anything, coaching and mentorship, right, is so that you get a return. Now, sometimes people don't really think about making investments this way. They just buy things and they're not really sure why they're buying what they're buying. And they also aren't sure how to evaluate a return on investment. But the only reason I make an investment is to get a return. And what can that return look like? It can look many ways. A return can look like, sometimes it's monetary. A lot of times that's one of the ways that we can evaluate whether or not an investment is good or not. Let's say you invest $2,500 and as a result of what you learn, you earn $2,500 back, right? In a short period of time. That's one way to evaluate a return on investment. Another way that I evaluate a return on investment is as a result of the environment that I'm a part of or the network that I'm a part of. Does it elevate me and does it expose me to people, my own ambition level and above, that give me access to ideas or strategies, or it allows me to leverage in a completely different way? I think sometimes people don't understand that. Sometimes the greatest return on investment could be environment. It could be the network. It could be the community. So I often will make an investment also to have access to high quality people. Okay. That's one of the reasons that I make an investment. I do make investments also in coaching and mentoring programs because I obviously want to get a return on investment as it relates to what I'm putting in. I'm able to get out in terms of a business growth and revenue. But sometimes the reason I make an investment is because of the exposure, because of the network, because not all networks have the same net worth. Okay, you with me? All right. Sometimes I will look at a return on the investment because of how it grows me. Like sometimes you can be in an environment, in a network, and maybe you were thinking like right at this level, but because you're in a network that stretches you, it elevates your thinking, and that you might see a return, meaning your mindset grows. So sometimes there can be something that monetarily happens for you, but sometimes it can be something that's internal that happens for you, right? As a result of you making investments in yourself. So the first thing that we have to understand is what a return on investment is, so that when you are making investments in yourself, you don't make these mistakes. Here's the first mistake, or the things not to invest in. Okay. And these are based on my opinions. Number one, shiny objects. Somebody write this down. Shiny objects, sparkling objects. Now, here's the coolest thing. A shiny object is something that we all like, right? We all love the sparkle, okay? But the problem is that a sparkle, something that think of one of those sparklers that you see during like the 4th of July, right? And sometimes people have fireworks going on and they'll have these sparklers happening. All right, you know, they're zipping off. That's exactly what a shiny object is. It has a lot of sparkle, but it doesn't have lasting power. Somebody write it down. So a shiny object often will get your attention because of the glare, because of the hoopla, because of the noise, but there's no proof that the shiny object can literally create results for you or has created results. All right. Hey, Lynn, good to see you. All right. So the very first thing I want you to think about at not investing in is something that's a shiny object, meaning it's something that looks amazing, but you don't really know if it works. Okay, I can tell you how I've been guilty. I've bought things recently because of this, you know, what's going on. I said, well, let me remove my chin hairs. Yeah, I'm just gonna be transparent. Look, I had like this beard thing going on, okay? And I was like, I'm gonna get this product. And I saw this infomercial and it said, for sure, this particular product would remove my chin hairs. Okay. And so I bought it. Shiny object, great commercial. You know what I mean? I was like, yes. Okay. But you know, while they talked about what the product could do, there really wasn't proof or evidence of real people that could say that it worked. There was a model in the video who looked pretty hairless, quite frankly, and she was probably paid to be there, but there wasn't really evidence. So what I'm saying to you is that don't invest in the shiny objects, because usually when you do it based on emotion. And one of the things that's really important in your business is not to make decisions based on emotion. Business is a business decision, and there should always be proof to back up the thing that you are going to make an investment in. Am I clear? All right. Number 2. Lori says, me too. That's so you, right? Like, so this is what I did. Number 2. The second thing that I suggest that you never, I said never, invest in are lackluster results. Lackluster results. Never make an investment in lackluster results, because you will find that what will happen for you because of that investment is that you'll create exactly the same. And I find this all the time, that a lot of times the people that I've worked with, they've made investments in their businesses. They've been told that people are going to do things for them that have never, ever happened for them. Okay. And it's because when they looked and they saw the evidence or the proof of what someone said they could do for them, the truth of the matter is the results that were being created were lackluster. They did not see evidence current within the last 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, in current and real time, that what the person told you they could do, you didn't see evidence that that was true. Okay. And when you don't insist on verification for yourself, right, to make sure the things that you're investing in are true, if you don't see evidence of it in real time in Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, it's really easy today to be able to see proof more than ever, okay, because of these platforms. You can easily see if someone's creating results for people over and over and over again. If you don't insist on that for yourself, you get what you get and don't get upset, okay? And I'm always surprised by the number of people who invest in lackluster results. This is why people do it. Sometimes because they get caught up in the hype, right, of what somebody says they can do, not what you see they actually have done, what they said they can do. Sometimes they get caught up in being association with people, maybe because of a name brand or name recognition, or, you know, being able to say, like, this person, I work with this person or that person, but you don't see the results. You don't see proof, evidence that that person is able to not only duplicate the results for themselves, but also in other people. Keep this in mind. And I learned this from one of my coaches, Joel. You know what? Talent is not transferable. Okay. But technique is. And so the people that are going to teach you, they need to have a technique where they can duplicate the results that they say they can create in other people over and over again. All right. Are we clear? Number three. The third thing not to invest in. Now, this is going to be a little radical. Okay. This is going to be a little radical. Lean in for this. All right. The third thing is do not invest in a website. Do not invest in a blog. Okay. I know, this is a little radical, right? Do not. No. If you right now, we're trying to figure out where you're going to get started, what should you do, and your investments are limited, the last thing you need is a website. Trust me, I have so many clients that have made sales, 5-figure deals, 6-figure deals without ever using a website. You don't need it. Okay. And this idea that people only going to buy from you if you have a website, okay, you're forgetting that you're the best part of the equation. It is not your site that's going to sell you. Okay. Sometimes we do those things, and certainly people who build sites, it's a great service, but you can launch your business right now with what you know and who you are. And I want you to know that you are enough. And I see it over and over and over again. I have a client that just closed a $14,000 sale just last week. In fact, she just got her first payment today, and she hasn't even set up a website, never set up a website. I mean, it happens all the time. I have a client who just posted on the community, in the community Reba last week, who closed the sale. She doesn't have a website. She doesn't have a website. I mean, because you don't need anything other than yourself. And if you don't know how to package who you are and how to sell from that place, and you're hiding behind needing all of these things before you move forward, sometimes you end up investing in the wrong thing. Like a lot of times people need coaching, and you're investing in a tool that you don't need. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And number four, the fourth thing of what not to invest in. Now, this is going to be radical too. You do not need to invest in creating another new thing right now. No. Okay. I'm afraid not. Okay. Now, this is for those of you who maybe you have an infatuation with pivoting, okay, or creating something new because you think always that what you have isn't enough, or if you just change this product, if you just change this price, or one person said, I really like this, and you think because of that, you need to change everything that you're doing. And I'm telling you, it's not true. That if I could save you any time, any energy, and years in your business, it would be for you to understand that what is getting in the way of the profitability you desire is that you got too many things you're creating. People don't need all that. I show my clients how to streamline what they're offering, how to stand in their value, and how not to keep creating a lot of things over and over and over again. And it is the reason why you're not selling. Literally, I'm telling you. I want you to hear me right now, okay? Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. So today, Rhonda, what I'm talking about is what to and what not to invest in. And what I've covered so far is number one, do not invest in shiny objects. See, shiny objects are like things that we think we need, and they just seem really cool, and they're like great gadgets, but sometimes those are the things that get in the way of what we really do need, right? And you pick it up off the road and you end up down a rabbit hole, and you still have to go back and invest in the thing that you truly need. All right. I do recommend that when you're making an investment in something, you're investing proactively in a solution to solve a problem for the thing that you need to get done. All right. Number two, do not make investments with lackluster results. Do not. Okay. So, and you have all the control over that. I mean, I think that if as a consumer, if instead of you just believing the hype or some really great video or some beautiful picture or some beautiful branding, why don't you go deeper? Challenge yourself to go deeper. Yep. Go deeper. All right. And make sure that there are results to back up that thing that you are thinking about making an investment in. Number three. And anyone that's great at what they do, they're going to have proof. They're going to have evidence, right, of them doing that. Number three, do not make an investment in things like blogs or websites, because a lot of people, will tell me, I'm going to go build my website and then I'll come back to you. And I'm like, why? I'm the first stop. Okay. The last thing that you need is a website, because how are you going to get your traffic to come to that website? You don't know how to do that. Like a lot of times people think you build it and they will come. No, they're not going to come if you just build it. Okay. And if you don't know how to market it, you don't know how to package it, you don't know how to price it, you don't know how to position and market to attract your ideal buyers, you don't know how to sell, right? Those are the skills that allow you to grow a great and amazing business, not a website. There are tons of people with beautiful websites with no traffic and no sales. Trust me. And the one rule I tell everyone that I work with is never copy what you see what somebody's doing on their website, because you do not know if it's converting or not. It might be beautiful, but you don't know if it converts or not. I have seen thousands of websites that have not converted a thing, but they are gorgeous. Yeah, all those syllables. Okay. Number 4, and do not invest in creating a new thing. Because sometimes if you keep doing things over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, there's a new product for this, a new product for that, then you never really specialize. Clients that don't even know what to come to you for. All right. And someone says, if your business is tied into tech, a website or blog is helpful and important. Okay, sure. Have at it. Okay. So I'm making recommendations today based on what I know works 100%, and try it on. If it works, if it doesn't, then don't do it. All right, number 5. Number 5. Now 5, I'm going to switch sides and I'm going to talk about what I suggest that you do invest in. All right. And the 5th thing that I recommend that you invest in, because remember the first 4 were 4 things not to invest in. The 5th thing that I recommend that you invest in, most importantly, this is really important, write it down, is invest in yourself. You are your number 1 asset. Invest in yourself. Like whether you were talking about books, whether we're talking about maybe you need to go to Toastmasters or some speaking training, or maybe you need some investment in yourself, right? To grow yourself on the personal development side, on the life side, on the business side. You are your number 1 investment. And I'll tell you this, that when I see how people show up in their life and in the world, a lot of times people don't know how to stand in their value, or not comfortable standing in their own value. Not because they're not smart, sharp, capable, they don't have the expertise and experience, etc. It is literally because they have not made the self-investments in themselves to feel that they are ready. So it just, you invest in yourself by becoming a giant, absolutely. But, it's investing in yourself in many different ways. I'll give you an example. When I first got, you guys aren't gonna believe this, but when I first got started in my business, and I was doing some motivational speaking, okay? And I thought for some reason that I should sound like Les Brown. Now, why would I ever think that I should sound like Les Brown? I'm Mia Redrick, okay? But I did. So I'm doing motivational speaking, but I'm trying to sound like Les Brown, okay? And somehow, whenever I was trying to be Les Brown doing motivational speaking, I moved like a robot, right? Like literally like a robot. And I couldn't figure out what the disconnect was. 1, I wasn't authentically being myself. 2, I wasn't standing in my truth and being all of me. I wasn't being, number 3, I wasn't being transparent, So I decided I need some help. So I invested in myself. I invested in Toastmasters. And when I invested in Toastmasters, it literally changed my life. I did it for like 3 years, speaking training, because I needed to find my voice, my authentic message. And that was work that I needed to do so that I could show up in a better way for my audience. Does that make sense? Or when I started my company, I mostly did, I would mostly do telecalls, right? And I didn't do video. I was really scared about doing video. It doesn't sound real, but it's true. So I built my whole business doing like telecalls, like literally phone calls. And so this is why I love phone calls today. And then I had to start doing video platforms, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And I just started practicing them. I bought a home camera. I didn't even buy it. My husband bought it for me. I bought a camera. And lights, film lights, and I would practice all the time, every single day in my home. I invested in myself. And lo and behold, shortly thereafter, I get a call to do a national syndicated television show as an expert Well, if I hadn't been investing in myself, I wouldn't have been as comfortable on the camera. I hope you guys hear me on this, all right? So when I'm talking about investments in yourself, sometimes you will recognize that there is a muscle that is weak that you can work on, okay? And when you work on that muscle over and over again, consistent, and you're consistent and persistent over time, you get better. Does that make sense? So the number one thing that I recommend that you invest in is yourself, okay? Is yourself. Like, think about the things that maybe might make you feel insecure, the things that you're not so great at, and then ask yourself, what can you invest in that can overcome that? All right? Okay? So the second thing, I hope that you get this, okay, which is really the sixth thing. The sixth investment that you should make, the sixth thing, but it's really the second thing that you should make, invest in, is a coach or a mentor, living the life that you desire. Okay. I'm, I'm giving you my advice. This is what I did. All right. And this is how I make investments. And I only share with you exactly what I do. And I know it works. I have only invested with people who were living the life that I desired. I have only decided to take advice from people who were in a place that I wanted to be, period. I did not invest in personality. I did not invest in celebrity. I invested with people who were in their lives where I wanted to be. And one thing that I understood for sure was that the way my mentors, my coaches generated their income, that's exactly what they would teach me. So if you told me that you could help me write a book and you had not written any books, I was never going to listen to you. I would never, ever decide to work with you. I would never, ever make an investment with you. I decided I only wanted authentic messengers. Now, that's a whole statement for those of you who are ready to hear it. But I always want to be honest with you about exactly what I recommend and I know will work. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of times we want to work with people because of the wrong reasons. And what I'm suggesting is that make an investment with someone, a coach, a mentor who is where you want to be, who's living the life that you want to live. When I picked my mentor, I picked her because she was free and I wanted to be free, period. She owned her time. I picked her because there was evidence that that was the case. 4 months she lived in Mexico, then she would go to New Jersey for 2 or 3 months and spend the rest of the time in Philadelphia. And while that was not what I wanted to do, I wanted to do that my own way. I wanted to be a mom who had the flexibility to be there for her kids the way she wanted to. Okay. And I knew it took time to do that, time and income. And I wanted someone to show me how to get myself free. And I loved that model. And every single coach I've invested in at the highest level every single one of them have always been free. You cannot teach me if you are not free. No, not at all. Number 3. All right. Or number, what was that? Be 7. Number 7. All right. Is invest in strategic tools and processes that you can leverage. Yes. So when you're looking to, hey there, Reva, you want to make an investment in yourself, in a strategic tool or process that you can leverage. So what I learned over the years is that not all advice is great advice. You know, I'm always surprised because one of the things that I help my clients with is how to do licensing deals. I show my clients how to build their own training, how to build their own coaching and consulting or their online education processes. I show them how to build out their proprietary systems. I show them how to leverage their intellect to monetize it. And I'm telling you this, that not all advice is the same. See, sometimes you can learn things that are theoretical. That doesn't mean that your teacher has done it. It just means that they know what the lessons are. Okay. Now, my background is corporate training. I can tell you, as a trainer, you can open up any trainer guide, and I could not have experienced anything that I'm teaching you. And I could read through a trainer guide and theoretically teach you anything as a trainer. That's correct. But I can only teach you the how if I've done it. And I will tell you that you need to go deeper, right? You need to make sure that the things that you invest in teach you strategically the tools and the processes that you can leverage in your business. And if you don't have that at the end of whatever it is that you're learning, okay, then what do you have? All right. The last thing you need is another class. Information is the cheapest thing you could ever get. You can Google anything you want to learn today. All right. So you don't need more information. You need specific strategy, step-by-step processes, techniques that transfer on what you can do right now so that you can realize whatever it is that you want to do. Are we clear? Does this make sense? All right. Are you getting value? If you're getting value, I want you to write you're getting value. All right. And number four. Okay. The fourth thing, awesome, that I suggest that you invest in, and this is so key, and a lot of times people don't get this. The fourth thing is invest in mindset. Okay. I want you to invest in mindset. All right. And what am I talking about? See, you got to think bigger to grow bigger. Okay. You got to think bigger to ask for more. Like I tell my clients all the time, like there is a layer of money that is around you that you cannot see. And the reason you can't see it isn't because it's not there for you. It's just because of what you can process. All right. So when I'm taking a client and I'm trying to get that client to go from selling something for, let's say they're selling something for $1,000, and I want to get them to a place where they can sell it for $5,000 or $10,000. The reality is that the only person that has to be convinced of their own value is you, right? You have to be convinced of your own value. The only way you can step into a higher version and sell more is based on your beliefs. And that's your mindset. I will tell you it's true. I see it all the time. If you're a client of mine and as a result of working with me, you've been able to elevate or increase your prices or sell something at a high level because that you didn't know was possible, just right here, me. The fact of the matter is most of the people that I work with, they come to me, they've been selling things at a low price, not because the value of what they bring to the table is low. It is just based on how they think. Okay. And when I'm able to support them and step into a higher version of belief for themselves, they're now able to see their value in bigger and deeper ways. All right. You got to understand that what you're charging right now is a direct reflection of your beliefs. And if you don't like the prices that you're charging, I can tell you, you need to do the work on your mindset. People are only paying you in direct proportion to how you see and translate your own value. And you may or may not like what you hear here, but it is flat the truth. Okay. So you got to think bigger to grow bigger, and if you've been that person that has been stuck in low fees or on discount or no fees, which is like the worst, I'm not going to call you out. Okay. Then it is all a function of how you see your value and how you exchange value based on those beliefs. And I just wanted to break that down for you. So what should you invest in? So I can recap. Okay. The first thing I said is yourself. Invest in yourself so that you can be a best version of yourself. Maybe you want to get on stage and you don't get on stage because you don't like what you look like when you get on stage, right? All right. Well, if you don't like what you look like when you get on stage, maybe you need to work out. Maybe you need to invest in a personal trainer. Okay. Maybe you need to invest in a stylist. Okay. Maybe you need to invest in a makeup artist. I don't know, but think about investments that could be transformative for you, that can change everything. The second thing, maybe you need to make an investment in a coach or mentor that lives the life that you desire. And that's probably the biggest thing. The people want to make investments and they want to feel like they're doing something, but they invest at a low level in a high level dream and can't figure out why they don't get to live a high level life. And they don't get to live a high level life because you didn't make a high level investment. Imagine wanting someone to pay you $10,000 per product, but you won't ever invest $10,000 in yourself. How do you ever walk a client through that psychologically? Because you can't walk through that for yourself. And it's an ouch, but it's an important one to understand. The third thing to understand is that invest in strategic tools and processes that you can leverage. Like, get over this theoretical learning, get over this information that you can just Google. You need to know how to do that, right? What's the step-by-step to do it? And the evidence of that is that if you are investing in that kind of learning each and every week or each and every month, you can see the results manifesting in your products, in your processes, in your business, in your revenue. Okay. And number 4, okay, invest in your mindset. And if you are that person, you can say, I want to have a 6-figure year plus, or I want to have a 6-figure month plus, and you're not an investor $10,000 or more in yourself. Are we serious? Like, you probably don't even belong on this page. Okay. I'm just saying, let's have an honest conversation. How is it that if you want to hit $100,000, you wouldn't invest $10,000 to learn how to make 100? Give me a break. All right. And I think that that's really important to understand. And I always want to make sure that I'm being honest with you guys, because when I tell you about the number of people who either sign up with me or someone on my team, and they're looking to, they want to do a consultation with us because they want to figure out how to grow a business. And we get to the investment part of the conversation, and they have never thought about making an investment in themselves. They just thought about gleaning information. How do you expect to build a business, a 6-figure plus business, or have a 6-figure plus business a month, okay, in revenue, and you want to glean information? You have to be investment minded, guys. I'm just breaking this down. All right. And I can tell you that, if you're not investment minded, then I'm not for you, for sure. And you need to do that work. Got to do that work. And know you are your number one investment. You are your number one investment. I'm going to read some of these comments here. And I also want to know, what's your biggest aha? What was your biggest takeaway as a result of being here today? What's your biggest aha? What's your biggest takeaway from being here today? Let's see. Angeline says, can't walk through it for myself. How can I walk a client through it, right? And Angeline says, owie, right? That's deep, right? I think I love that, okay? And then DeFaith says, mind shift. Okay, yes, absolutely. And mind shifting is so important. Changing your mindset changes everything. Regina says, so it has nothing to do with having a kind heart, how you value your knowledge and time. You can have a kind heart, but if you're in a for-profit business, does that mean that translates to free? Okay, does that mean that the people who are your customers are all the people who they get everything for free or low fee? Does that mean that you don't value your gifts and your talents? Here's the thing I want you to think about, Regina, and I always go all in on this, and I just love you for the question or the statement. This is what you got to think about. If I don't charge at my highest level, what a disservice it is to my clients, because I can't give them all of who I am. I meet so many entrepreneurs, man, they're just hanging in there. They want to make, let's say they want to make $250,000 in a year, and they're charging $50 an hour, $100 an hour, $200 an hour. How many people can you possibly talk with, right? I mean, if you charge $100 an hour, you need to talk to, 2,000 people, okay, in order for you to hit your goal. And I mean, just think about that. I mean, you need to talk to 2,000 people. We won't even talk about the marketing to get 2,000 people in, okay? We won't talk, that's 2,000 hours, right? We won't talk about the quality time. The reason that you decided to go into business is just to have quality time, because now you have none, okay? Because you're working 40 or 50 hours a week just to make income when you build a business to create a life. You build your business around your life. And if you don't understand that model, you need to invest to understand that. All right. I service my clients, and I think any of my clients here will tell you, I give from my heart. I give them every single thing I have when I'm on the calls with them. But I have built a business around my life. Time freedom is my everything. I built my business so that, I could build a life that I can come home to. Like vacation, great. But every day is a vacation here. I built a life that I can come home to, that I absolutely love. So I can be present in the lives of my spouse, with the president in the lives of my kids. You know what I mean? That's why I built my business. Yeah. And my business is not my charity. I select my charities and I invest in them because that's where I want to invest. But my business is not my charity. People don't get to choose my business as their charity. Okay, Tijuana, exactly. I am the worst with seeing past me. Oh my goodness, yes, mindset. This is what she wrote. And a lot of you guys wrote, you're getting value. Biggest lesson, someone Facebook user writes, invest in myself. Regina says, thank you, Mia, you're welcome. And some Facebook user write, I must get away from theories. I must know how to do it. Yeah, so like that's so important. Like anybody can teach you. Look, I'm a professional trainer by trade. Let me tell you, anybody can teach you the what, but the only people that are going to teach you the how are people that have done it. And you need to insist on that for yourself. You deserve that. Evelyn says, you are enough. Invest in you, not shiny objects or other stuff. And I will tell you that, Evelyn, sometimes when we're making those investments and we don't have the right mindset, it's hard to stand in them because they don't fit. We feel uncomfortable, but you should be uncomfortable when you're growing yourself. Okay, Brenda, is that you? Awesome. I'm so glad that you're there. Valerie says, aha was no lackluster results, or you will have the same. Absolutely. It's so true. Let's see. Reba writes, I want to build a life that I can come home to. That was eye-opening for me with you. I've heard of time freedom, but you have life freedom. Life freedom. Absolutely. It's so important. I think if we have the wrong models, then sometimes what happens is your priorities become out of whack. You leave your job, you create a great business, and guess what? The model for the business is just like the job. So you just you leave one job and create another one that is in your own business. You can build a business around your life. You can build a business that's time rich. You can build a business with time freedom. And if you don't know how to do it, you need to invest with someone that does know how to do that so that you can do that. Okay. I'm going to recap just really quickly. Let me know your ahas or takeaways, what to and what not to invest in. What not to invest in: shiny objects, lackluster results, websites, blogs, etc., and creating new things right now. Okay, you already have what you need. All right, you already have it. All right, and what to invest in: invest in yourself. Invest in a coach or mentor who is living the life that you desire and has evidence of it. Number 3, strategic tools and processes that you can leverage. And then number 4, invest in your mindset. You got to think big to grow bigger. All right. All right. And Rosalind writes, her aha is, you don't need any more classes. Look, stop. It's like, Roz, I think you said it like this. Just stop looking for classes. And Lori writes, life freedom. I already selected the recliner to put my feet up in. Yes, absolutely. It's life freedom. And there's no price on life freedom. I thought about this last week. My daughter is graduating from high school and then she's going to college in the fall. And last week was the orientation for the college, which was last week, Monday and Tuesday. And then we had a graduation celebration, which was award celebration was on Thursday. And then Friday was the caravan thing. And I was like, man, like it was all week, like a lot of things happening. And I was like, if I wasn't free, this would be stressful, but I'm free. I can go to all these things all day long. You know what I'm saying? Because my business operates around my life, not the other way. And I want this for you. I want what I have. I want it for you. I know that it's possible. Rhonda says that her aha is to think big. And I'll tell you that, one of the greatest challenges that people have on that mindset side is if you don't think big and you're stepping into something that is big, it's easy to not understand it. right? Because if you think small, you got to be able to grow. You got to grow your mind so you can receive all that there is available to you, 100%. And I will tell you that what could be available to you, like a lot of times, relationships are a currency, and people don't get it, but relationships are a currency. What you invest in relationships, what you get out. How you treat your relationships, are you transactional with your relationships? If you don't get something out of a relationship, do you not invest in the relationship? Just think about it. Or you got to think about, these are all like mindset things. Or think about, on the mindset side, is it that there's an opportunity that's available to you, but you can't step into it because you don't feel like you're ready, or you don't feel what you have is enough, or you feel like you need another certification, or all of those things they play into our mindsets. Or is it that you're that person that you've got everything lined up, but because of perfectionism, you keep playing, keep playing with it, but you won't launch it. That's all mindset. Like, it's really important to understand that. Really, 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 really important. Okay. Sometimes what gets in the way is not what you think. Tijuana says free. Yes, I want to be free to increase in value. Absolutely. And the